What is the one thing that all of the best lead generation websites have in common? We're going to talk about that on today's video. So all of today's best lead generation websites, they come in all different shapes and sizes. You have websites that are beautiful and well designed with kind of a 3D looking look. You have websites that have the flat design. You have a bunch of different tastes, and people can invest a lot in website design. They can invest millions of dollars. They can invest just a couple hundred. There's a bunch of different variables when it comes to having a website, but when it comes to having an effective website, has nothing to do with the pretty graphics. The pretty graphics are good for brand experience and all of that. But when it comes to performance, there is one thing that all of the best lead generation websites have, and that's what I want to talk about with you today. And that just quite and simply is the buyer journey. The best lead generation websites have an incredible buyer journey experience throughout every single one of their pages. And this is what a lot of people overlook when they're dealing with their website design. One of the things that they do is they want pretty graphics. They want something that looks nice, that represents their brand from a feeling perspective. But if you design a website simply to have a pretty website, you can go out and you can buy a template that looks beautiful, but if it doesn't have a great buyer journey, you're going to be turning around and buying another beautiful website in a very short amount of time, because regardless of how pretty it is, if it can't perform well, then it's really kind of, it doesn't benefit the brand at all. And so the buyer journey becomes a very important part of every web design process. You really need to take into account the flow that people are going to go to from this page to that page, and what the narrative needs to be from one page to the next, leading them down the funnel to the point where they're at the bottom of the funnel and ready for a decision. And even then, the next steps that each page are offered, that each page offers at each step of the buyer journey, it becomes a very important thing, and it's a very complex thing, and it's something that you have to take a lot of thought and consideration into. And so when you're looking at the buyer journey, for example, you can see, let's go to this page here. You can see that, in a well thought out way, everybody's going to go in a very particular method. They're going to come to the homepage. They're going to sign up for a mini class worksheet, lead magnet. They're going to look at the before and after pages. Then they're going to jump over to a demo or a trial, and then they're going to enjoy the demo and the trial. They're going to sign up. You can think that everybody's going to follow this flow, but what happens if they jump out of that flow, and instead of going from the mini class to before and after, what happens if they jump over to loss and redemption? What happens if they go from loss and redemption to the score or the quiz? What happens if they jump from toolkit all the way down here? There's so many variables when it comes into your website and how your target persona is going to not just view it, but how they're going to interact with it. And a lot of people, they build what I call brochure websites. It's a website, and they think of every page as, we need to talk about our company on this page. So on the home page, the normal kind of mindset is, on the home page, we really need to get across our unique sales proposition. What's our unique value, our UVP? How are we going to communicate it? And so they think of the homepage as kind of the introduction. This is all about us. And then you have the About Us page, which is going to be about their company. And then you're going to have the product pages, and we want them to know about our products on these pages. And you have the pricing page. You want them to know about our pricing. And all of these pages become panels in from a brochure. You could pick up a brochure from some kind of tourist destination, look at all the panels, and kind of match that up to websites. But the fact is, if you want a high performing website, the buyer journey usurps about you. It usurps everything about your company. The bottom line is that the visitors, the people that would buy your product, they don't care about you. They're not there for you. They're not there so that you can tell them about you. They're there to solve very specific problems. It doesn't matter if you're B2C or B2B. the person that comes to your website is looking for a solution to a very specific problem. And if your website can walk them through the journey of discovering the solution, how it fits their problem, and how it can solve their problem down to actually solving their problem, then your website will win. It will generate leads, it will generate customers. If your website, somebody comes to you with a very specific problem, and all they get from your website is, well, this is what you need to know about me, and this is 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 what we stand for, and this is what we want. If that's all the website is, they'll go somewhere else. But when you can create a website that the user coming in with a very specific problem feels like you are solving their problems, that you are answering their questions, that you're walking them through this decision that they have to make in a way that makes sense to them, then suddenly they enjoy the website experience. They will convert. They want to become customers. They will actually become leads with momentum. A lead is just a lead that's going to sit there. But if a lead comes in with momentum, they're more than likely to fall down the funnel and come out the end of it. And your website can actually create that momentum. But it comes down to the buyer journey. So let's look at this again. Let's look at some websites that have great buyer journeys. And the first example is Wealthfront. And this is a website that is financial managers. It's an app kind of thing that uses AI. We won't get into everything that they do, but I want you to notice the little things that they're doing there to give their customers a great experience. The first thing you find up here is that this is pretty generic UVP. There's nothing special about their UVP. They're wanting you to know that they're there to be your financial co-pilot. That's kind of about them. It's not great. This is talking about them. They're going to build you a free financial plan. Free is a pretty good thing. Low cost. They're speaking to the things that their target persona wants. Here's where it gets golden. Notice that they're going to give you the financial expertise you need in your pocket, but here's the big sell. No spreadsheets, no annoying sales calls, and no judgment. If you want to save your money because you want to buy pigs, then you can save your money and buy pigs with us. We're not going to judge you. And pigs are a pretty good investment if you're a pig farmer. But they're not going to give you spreadsheets. They're not going to give you annoying sales calls, and they're not going to judge you for what you want to do with your money. And then they give you the call to action, which is great. Get started. But if I'm not ready to get started, what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll and read a little bit more. And so as you scroll through their website, it's actually very beautiful, but they address all of the things that people desire that would be their customer, what the things that they want. And the first thing that they're talking about is that it's free. You can explore what's possible. Free dynamic plan, blah, 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 blah. But look at this. You have a call to action right here. If this is what they were concerned about, they have the next step, or they have another step to dive a little bit deeper. Maybe they want more information about this, but this is a great user buyer journey experience. I have the next step that I want. But here is something a little bit great. They're explaining this. Notice this sentence here. All without ever requiring you to talk to anyone. They're talking to those concerns, the things that would keep their target persona from actually talking to them. I think it's brilliant. You come down a little bit further. Again, passive investing on autopilot. It's not going to take up your time. This is something that can be handled from an app. It's going to do things automatically. And notice here, they've got the call to action. If this is what, actually makes you pull the trigger, you can invest now. If you want to know a little bit more about autopilot, you can learn more. And here's some of their value props for autopilot. Come down here. Look at this last one. Invest for a low fee. There's no hidden fees. You only pay 0.25% here. But look at this. No trading commissions. No sales calls. No, really. How many times are they going to mention the fact that you don't have to talk to someone on the phone? This is absolutely brilliant. Now look at the next step here as well. Invest for a low fee. This is what obviously they found that people are concerned about. Look, they're talking about fee. Well, the next question you have when you're talking about fees are, well, how much would it cost for me? How much am I really going to pay? And they've got that link right here. When you click it, brings up a really awesome calculator. I mean, this is just awesome stuff. And it goes through the whole thing. Explore what's possible with a free dynamic plan. Oops, I scrolled up a little bit. A cash account that works as hard as you do. You're a hard worker. This is going to work for you. Again, call to action, or learn more if you want to know more about this. Look at this. They've got some statistics here. They don't just give you statistics. They give you a link to go review the details if that's what you want to do. All the way down, it's so brilliant. They're giving you so many choices on what their software will do for you, and they're constantly reiterating, we're not going to judge you. You don't have to get on a sales call with us. We're not going to overcharge you. And they're giving, at each main point, they are giving the user the option to choose their own adventure. And that's really what the buyer journey is. It is a choose your own adventure book. And if you don't know what that is, you might be from a younger generation than me. I'm not that old, but I used to get these books. I had one that was Batman, that was a choose your own adventure. So you would read the first chapter, and at the end of the first chapter, Batman's in a dilemma, and you have a choice. Do you want to do this, or do you want to do that? And if you want to do this, turn to page 48. If you want to do that, turn to page 155. And so depending on what choice you wanted to make, you would turn to that page, and it would pick up the story with that choice being made. And at the end of that chapter, it's going to ask you, do you want to do this or that? And if you want to do that, then you're going to have to go to page 23. And it just takes you around in this book where you're kind of determining where the story goes. And so creating that can be very complex, but on the website, it's the same thing. When someone comes to your homepage, they are on a choose their own adventure based on where they want to go, what they want to accomplish, what they want to do. Some are going to click on pricing. Some are going to click on buy now. Some people are going to click on your blog and read. Some people are actually going to go to your company page and read about your employees. They're going to look at your career page, and see what jobs you have open, not because they want to work there, but just because they're nosy. It's a choose your own adventure. And if your website does not facilitate that, they will go somewhere else that does, because they want things on their terms. Let's look at another one here. This one is Slack. Everybody knows Slack. Everybody is used to Slack. Their value proposition up here, again, it's not about them. They're not saying we're a chat platform. They're not doing any of that. They're wanting you to think, this is going far away from a brochure. Think about what you can do together. They help you do this, but they want you to do this because you're after that. Make sense? And of course, they have the get started. This is a call to action. One of the things that I really like about them, why Slack, you can see how it works, all that. But when you go to solutions, they have a page for all of their buyer personas. So if you're in marketing, you can go and you can read all about the things that they do for you. It's tailor-made for your specific use case. And so it's obvious. If I'm in marketing and I click on solutions and I look at it, I'm going to get communication that's connecting exactly with the problems that I'm facing. And so, and when you get to the end, there's always a next step. Let's look at another one. I think this one here is pretty brilliant. This is StoryBrand, and their big offering is kind of a workshop to help you learn how to tell your brand story. And their website is pretty great. Register now. You can watch a video. These workshops help you clarify your message, where you can eliminate confusion, connect with your customers, grow your company. It's all about you. We want to help you clarify your message. We want to help you get your word out there. But it's a very low selling kind of thing, right? There's not a lot of people that are just looking to go join another workshop. And so I think they found that it's a pretty difficult sell. So look what they did. They have this website. They decided to take a step back and go farther up the funnel with a 5-minute marketing makeover, where you can sign up for these 3 videos. Now, this is a standalone website, a 5-minute marketing makeover. He's promoting it in the book. He's promoting it in videos. You can sign up and you can get these 3 videos. And all this is doing is giving you a preview of what that workshop is going to do for you. So they're basically having you sign up for a lead magnet here to get into this system where they're going to start helping you. And all of those videos, I guarantee you watch each one of them, you're going to see that those videos are actually designed to make you want the workshop. They're not designed to help you clarify your message. They're helping you to understand that your message is a shortcoming. Therefore, you can design this, or you can join this workshop. It's free access, and people are just signing up like crazy. It's brilliant. This is buyer journey. What they've done is they said, we know people are getting to this point, but they're not taking the next step. They're not choosing the right adventure. So let's back them up to a step before, get them started on the right adventure, and then hopefully they'll have enough inertia, momentum, that when they get to the actual step, that they're going to follow through and sign up for it. I think it's brilliant. Last example here is this guy, Neil Patel. If you don't know Neil Patel, you really should follow him. He is a genius when it comes to building search engine traffic and backlinks, SEO, all that kind of stuff. When you come to his website, it's not about Neil Patel. It's not telling you anything about him. It's got his name up there because that's his logo. But the big thing that you read is, do you want more traffic? Anyone that is his target audience that comes to that page, the answer to that question is yes, we want more organic traffic. And he gives you a little option here. Analyze your website. That's an awesome lead generation tool at the very beginning to get you involved. But let's go down here and go to his blog. This is what I really think is awesome. So he is really wanting to sell you on his consulting products. And his blog is where he drives a lot of traffic. So people are coming to his blog. You see he's got videos, podcasts, all kinds of stuff here. And he publishes content nonstop into this timeline. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this, look at this very first entry, this very first blog post, my secret to ranking #1 on Google. So who in their right mind is not going to want to know Neil Patel's secret for ranking #1? But look what he does. When you click on this, it goes to, do you want more traffic? This is not his secret. This is, do you want more traffic? You read through, and he's going to kind of give you a high level view of how he ranks, some of the people. This is social proof, talking about how great it is. And when you get down to the end, he's got, of course, the next step. This is buyer journey. Do this now, click there. Here's what will happen next. We're going to get you into a consulting with Neil Patel. This is his consulting page. Look at the URL, consulting. Oops. The URL is consulting. When you go up here, services, you click on services, that's the page. When you go to the blog, though, looks like this is a blog post that takes you to the services page. It's actually kind of brilliant because his services page is set up to be like a valuable piece of content. And what Neil Patel, what Donald Miller is StoryBrand, what Slack, what Wealthfront, all of these people are doing is considering what's in the mind of their customer when they come to the website. What do they want? What steps do they want to take? And if they come to your websites and they don't want to take the steps that they need to, you need to back up and help them to get to the point where they'll take the right steps. One major thing, every page on your website, every single one needs a logical next step. So if choosing your own adventure, you're on chapter 1, right? This is really the kind of the most value of this video. And I know it's going a little bit long. We've had some examples, but this is really where most of the value is. You have chapter 1, that's your home page. From chapter 1, choose your own adventure, people can go anywhere on your website. They can click on navigation, they can click on contextual links. When they get to that, say someone on your website, chapter 1, clicks, I want to go to chapter 3. Chapter 3 needs to meet them where they're at and then give them the option to go to chapter 4. They might not go to chapter 4. They might go back to chapter 1. They might jump over and go to chapter 7. But the logical next step on chapter 3 is to go to chapter 4. So at the end, maybe even the middle of chapter 3, you're offering them chapter 4. If someone's at chapter 1, they choose to go to chapter 5. Chapter 5 doesn't need to offer chapter 4. It needs to offer chapter 6. They might jump from 5 to 4, but they need to know that the logical next step when you're on chapter 5 is to go to chapter 6. Every single page on your website must have a logical next step offered at the end of it so that the people that are coming to your website flow through a journey to get where you want them to go and to get there on their terms with their own journey, but it's still flowing. No matter which direction they go, the flow is still going to take them to the bottom of the funnel where they can convert and become your customers. I hope you like this video, and I hope you will share it with your friends and your community, embed it on your blog post, do all those great things. Promote it for me, in other words. And thank you for watching, and we hope that you subscribe to us on YouTube, and hopefully we'll see you around at a marketing conference or something. You know, hopefully we can meet up. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.